So summer went 0 to 100 real quick here, and literally 0 to 100. It basically has been like 90. It was 90 degrees yesterday. It was like 95 today. It's supposed to be like 92 tomorrow. So when it gets that hot, at least in Michigan here, we can't. That's weird. It's hard for me to spray powder during the middle of the day. Number one, I can't handle it because by the time I put everything on to spray, I'm just swimming in it. And number two, the powder doesn't necessarily spray great for us because of the humidity up here. So basically, we got up early this morning, stripped some wheels, and now I'm kind of waiting for it to cool down here. It's about 9 o'clock right now, so probably in about the next half hour, 45 minutes, I'll go out and start shooting a set of wheels for tonight, so I'm at least getting some work done here. But when it's this hot, there's not a whole lot you can do. You just kind of have to do what you can when you can, and basically I'll just start working the evening shifts and or the night shifts basically, so that way the weather is a little more comfortable for me than what it is during the day, because during the day it is just fucking brutal because I don't have AC out there. So anyway, so we're working on some video stuff here, and we'll wrap this up, and then we'll head out here in a little bit and start getting some work done to start the week here. Even though it's a holiday today, we're still doing a little bit of work. A little bit, not a lot. I haven't worked all day, so. Alright, so let's talk about this hashtag Team No Sleep deal I'm doing right now. So it's been like 90-some degrees during the day and humid, so I can't shoot powder because it clumps, it doesn't shoot right, it's just miserable to shoot. So here we are, it is currently 1:45 at night, and we are trying to finish up these Camaro wheels. Now we did these the other day, actually at the end of last week, and customer wasn't super happy, so to keep my good name, we're redoing them again. No problem, it happens. I would rather, you know, redo it and be out a little bit and not make as much money on the job than to have unhappy customers out there. So the problem we ran into here is the spokes of the wheel kind of sit at the front of the barrel, and there's a little gap here. The way I usually hang the wheel by the valve stem area, where this was facing up, I basically couldn't get up in there. So what we have now is we have a wire wrapped around here, so we'll shoot these 3 spokes behind that, make sure we have good coverage. We'll then insert our regular valve stem holder that we would do. We'll flip the wheel, and then we'll coat the rest of it, so that way we make sure we get behind every spoke and we get all of it, we get it wiped down. Now this is finger wiping because it's a 2-tone job, so it's gonna take a little bit here, but hopefully we'll be in bed by like 3. Alright, so this week's kind of been a fiasco all week. We've been running into issues with gloss black powder. It just looks funky when you shoot it, and what I mean by funky is there's basically something in it. And so all week I've been battling with it and trying to figure out what was wrong with it, and I think I finally got it narrowed down. What it actually is, I think, is there's water going through my air system, because we've gone from it was cold out and snowing basically to now it's literally almost 90 degrees every day, if not 90 plus, and 70% humidity. It's just absolutely the most ridiculous thing ever. So obviously when you have that and you're dealing with compressed air, it creates a lot of moisture. So basically what I've done here is I went this morning, spent a bunch of money I didn't have on filter dryer kit to kind of filter and dry the air out right before it goes into my gun. I also brought my old air conditioner out, hooked it up in my coating room, so we're chilling that room off, so that way hopefully during the day here I can actually get stuff shot, because the other night I tried to stay up, or I stayed up until about 4:30 in the morning shooting, and it worked okay, but it sucks. You're just tired all the time. In fact, I'm still tired today. And things just don't seem to go well. So we're hopefully, I've got a test piece in right now to see how it comes out here if I have this straightened out. I'm really hoping I do, because I really need to. I'm starting to get behind with only having 1 or 2 projects a week. I'm starting to get behind, so it's a real nuisance. So yeah. So another thing we've been fighting this week is these Camaro wheels. We did them last week. We had an issue with the flat black powder not baking out right. For some reason, it almost looked like there was greasy fingerprints in it. Not like someone actually pressed their thumb in it, but like when the flat black gets done, if you touch it and your finger's wet or greasy or whatever, it leaves like a fingerprint on there almost, or a smudge we'll call it. And so when I shot a second coat of flat black last week on those wheels, it like didn't bake right or something. I'm not really sure what happened with it. So anyway, so we're back on doing those. The other night I stayed up all night till 4:30 in the morning shooting them, and I have 2 of them that are done good, and I have the other 2 got jacked up. Basically, the easiest way to explain it is when you two-tone something, a lot of times you can't mask it when you're doing powder coat work, because it'll leave tape marks with the heat. The heat does all sorts of funky things. So what you basically have to do is wipe it down with your finger. Now when you wipe it down with your finger, you can vacuum some of it off, but eventually what happens is you get a little buildup along the edge where you wipe. Similar to, for anyone who knows, like a snow plow, when you push with a snow plow, you get those buildups that push off to the side. You get the same thing with the powder. Now that powder isn't actually electrically charged to the wheel anymore, and what ends up happening is if you move anything too abruptly, the powder actually will fall off. So the other night, being that it was 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when I put them in, sorry, I just stayed up late, I can't do some work. I must have hung them too hard. You can see right where the flat black dripped into the gloss black, and so here we are trying to redo 2 of them. Obviously we've been having the issue with the gloss black all week, which this is no different. This is actually a different gloss black powder I shot on these things, and it's still had the same effect, so I'm like, okay, cool, we have a different problem now. It's not just the powder, the certain kind of powder I was using. So I'm getting the gloss black straightened out here so I can get those shot and get them back to the customer here, because I'm really tired of dealing with them.